Welcome back. And as we all know, that Decent Life or Hayat Karima is an initiative that is taken by the Egyptian presidency. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi have been aiming at improving the livelihoods and the circumstances of low-income brackets at the informal settlements and the rural communities and the less privileged ones. This comes within the framework of the Sustainable Development Strategies of 2063. Of course, this particular initiative is way more beneficial than 100 million lives and the 100 billion lives for women and other successful initiatives that has been taken at the whole of Africa. With us right now is Dr. Pacinthe Fahmy over the line. Good morning, Dr. Fahmy.
Good morning, madam.
How are you doing, doctor?
I'm fine, thank you.
Like I said, this particular initiative is way more important to the Egyptian nation than any other initiative that has been taken, because it's targeting everything that is related to the less privileged and the poorer communities. Explain to us how.
Well, this is not a mega project. This is a huge project. It has the first step has started actually by Mr. President when he thought of, or he made a very big plan to combat slums. People living in slums, I mean, they didn't have even the minimum, and I repeat, the minimum level of acceptable life, so that they become proper civilians, proper human beings who could really participate in building their country and live decent life in their country. I mean, it was unacceptable. So this was a very successful step. Then he moved on to the very big step, to the larger step, which is for all governorates and all villages. That's a huge project. And that's why I say huge, because first of all, the country, yes, they have a very big plan to accomplish, but this is the responsibility of all Egyptians, not only the government and the responsible people. Second, if you want to change a country, if you want to build an economy, if you want to build a great country, you build people first. And the situation of the people living in the major governorates was unacceptable, honestly unacceptable. The major services are not there, like infrastructure, electricity, water, sewage, education, health, sports. Nothing was there. So what do you expect from people or children being grown up in a situation like this one? So I think this project, this is a mega project, and Mr. President has been giving care ever since he was elected to improve the standard of living for all Egyptians. But I repeat, this is not the responsibility of the government alone. The government will be definitely responsible for the bigger part, which is the biggest part, which is the infrastructure, because it's costly, it's complicated, it needs technology, so on and so forth. And I think the rest has to be in participation with major groups in Egypt, like business people, like social funds, like even individuals. So rebuilding or giving a proper, decent life to Egyptians like they used to live, and they created that huge history where all the world is talking about. Honestly speaking, the first step was that big project Mr. President is giving all his attention to. Moreover, yes, he had some initiatives before, like you mentioned. They are all important. But this one is very specific. This one is rebuilding life, is rebuilding decent atmosphere for children to grow up. I mean, some of people living in those governorates or those villages, children do not know what's a flower. They don't know what are fruits. It's humiliating. So I guess this is I call it the project of the century. And I hope that all of us could participate to accelerate the achievement.
Right. You're very right when you said that, because it is targeting all the fronts of the livelihoods or the situation at this poorer or less privileged areas or the informal settlements, people who are living there. But let us first, to be more clear, to point out at the most important targets or the major targets of this initiative, because this initiative is aiming at alleviating the burdens over the poorer people in poor communities, less privileged areas, and the people in informal settlements, people who have difficulties in getting access to education and to health assistance and social assistance, even anything. So what exactly is this initiative doing?
This initiative has, in my personal opinion, a major target.
Aye.
The world is changing. Do you want to be part of this world, or do you want to be out of this world? Egypt is a great country, it's a rich country. It has all the points which could really help it to become like they used to, like we used to be. We used to be one of the major countries in the world, ranking ranking number in the first 10 or 5 economies in the world. We used to export to the world most of our products. We used to participate in developing technology. We had best education system. When you see who came to our country and learned, the people ruling the world, they used to get their education in Egypt. So I think the most important objective or target for that specific one is to rebuild Egypt to become like it used to be, a strong country, and moreover to participate in the change which is happening in the world. The world is changing totally. Technology is becoming the language. And I do not think you can really ask a country or people who are suffering from the existing problems to become part of the coming technology. Impossible. So you need to develop the standard of living, you need to develop education, healthcare, even sports need to be developed, because this is a major part of developing the children, and so on. So yes, it is extremely important, not on a surface. No, it's important because we definitely want to be part of the coming world. We want to participate in developing our economy and the region's economy. We want to be a model for Africa so that we could enter Africa in a positive manner. We cooperate with them, we develop their wealth, and we become a very strong part. The African continent is a very rich continent, including Egypt. So if you want to develop all that, you need to have young generation well educated, standard of living acceptable. They have all the facilities which they could really live in a healthy atmosphere, and then we could participate in the development of the world. I want to add here that our region and the world will be developed into major regions. The regions, some of them will concentrate on technology, others on agribusiness, on food, etc. So we have to have our young generation, which constitutes more than 50% of our population, ready to go into that new world.
Okay, Dr. Pacinthe Fahmy, you are a former member of parliament, also an economic analyst and a political one. Thank you so much, and you have a beautiful day. And I guess this would bring us to the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show for this morning. On behalf of myself, Tina Hussein, and the rest of our Nile TV crew, that's goodbye and have a beautiful day.